So hello everyone. In continuation to the part 1, now we will begin in the current video, that is part 2 of the chemical properties of phenol, included under the title alcohols and phenols. Friends, in this particular section, that is chemical property of phenol, we would include few chemical reactions that are very important from competitive exam point of view as well as your NCERT exam point of view. Friends, over here we will be involving few popular reaction starting from Reimer-Tiemann reaction. See, always remember, whenever we say Reimer-Tiemann reaction, it is used for the formation of two popular compounds using two different reagents. That is salicylaldehyde and salicylic acid. There are two separate reactions that initiate from phenol. If during the reaction, along with a base that can be KOH or sometimes NaOH, if chloroform is used as one of the reagent, then always we end up with the product salicylaldehyde. But if carbon tetrachloride is used, we always end up with the product salicylic acid. Whenever we mention these terms, salicylaldehyde or salicylic acid, always be very particular that the two different products that are formed are very popular as 2-hydroxy benzaldehyde and 2-hydroxy benzoic acid. You can select it either way you wish to. Now let us begin with the procedure of synthesis. You have phenol as your starting material. It reacts in presence of a base KOH and chloroform as a reagent. Always remember, in this particular reaction, that is Reimer-Tiemann reaction, a intermediate chlorocarbon, or rather to say dichlorocarbon, is formed. This is very important, and this was one of a very popular question 1 or 2 years back in one of the NTA based exams. So over here, when such a intermediate is formed, you always end up in a two-step reaction resulting into salicylaldehyde, that is 2-hydroxybenzaldehyde or orthohydroxybenzaldehyde. Simply mentioning this is a part of Reimer-Tiemann reaction. But if we are interested in learning it in a little bit detail, let us just learn that detail regarding this Reimer-Tiemann reaction. This detail of Reimer-Tiemann reaction is also very important, and let us begin with that. We always initiate with phenol as our starting material because we are learning chemical properties of phenol. It reacts with chloroform as a reagent along with a strong base, which can be NaOH, which can be KOH. Let us write NaOH in its aqueous state. You will always end up with a intermediate compound, and this intermediate compound gives out hydrochloric acid and water molecule as byproducts along with its main product which is very much helpful in getting towards our final product, and you can mention it like this. It is ONA and CHCl2. When this undergoes a reaction wherein you will find out that an excessive amount of NaOH is required, which helps in removal of chlorine along with water, that is 2 moles of HCl. From the byproducts itself we can guess that what is happening in the reaction. One water molecule from these 2 OH and one excess O will get an attack over here, resulting in the formation of ONA and CHO. And now in the last step where we have H plus, we will always end up by writing OH and CHO. So this is a kind of a detailed explanation about the reaction of Rimmer-Tiemann process or Rimmer-Tiemann reaction, which is used for the production of salicylaldehyde. This is one of the very important reaction that is always considered important from your exam point of view as well as from learning point of view. So friends, this is one of the very important and very popular reaction that is included in the chemical properties of alcohol. Hope you just got an idea that Rimmer-Tiemann reaction is used for producing salicylaldehyde as well as salicylic acid. If instead of taking this CHCl3, if I would have written over here carbon tetrachloride, very promisingly I would have ended up with COOH rather than ending up with chloroform, that is CHO, because I am taking carbon tetrachloride, so I will be ending up with COOH. So keep this thing in mind, and while taking that thing you will also have a change over here, because you will have to think of adding one excessive oxygen, so you might need one more mole of sodium hydroxide either initially or during the reaction. Let us move ahead with the second reaction in the same topic, that is chemical properties of phenol, and let us check what can be done. We will now be doing the Kolbe reaction, which is very much important for the formation of 2-hydroxy benzoic acid, and it is popularly known as Kolbe-Schmitt reaction. This Kolbe-Schmitt reaction is one of the very important reaction that is used for producing salicylic acid, also known as 2-hydroxy benzoic acid. Again, as it is one of the chemical properties of phenol, we will have to initially start with phenol, there is no doubt in it, where we will be using aqueous NaOH. Sometimes we also mention it as 10% NaOH. While using this particular reaction or step, OH from here and H from here gets replaced. Fundamentally, I always refer it as nucleophilic substitution, where I judge it as ONA minus and H plus that breaks out from this NaOH, pardon me. This ONA will attack over here and this will get replaced as OH minus, which will help us in ending with our first step product, and that is popularly known as sodium phenoxide. Once we have sodium phenoxide with us, we can move steps ahead, where a treatment with carbon dioxide becomes essential during this Kolbe-Schmitt reaction, where carbon dioxide gas at a particular temperature of 398 Kelvin and 4 to 7 bar pressure. Friends, remember very well, with the changing in reference book at this +2 level, sometimes the temperature pressure value changes, so you can go according to the reference you are using or which is essential for appearing in your exams. but this will help us by a very simple reaction which always I have mentioned during classes as insertion of COO. So I am just trying to insert this COO over there, and that will help me write OCOONA. If you look into it properly, we have just inserted a carbon dioxide inside that particular bonding, that is ONA. Once we are done with this, which is popularly known as phenoxy sodium formate, fundamentally it requires a rearrangement, but if you think of this rearrangement, in all these positions you have hydrogen, so it will get out as H plus. At the same time, this will break from this particular portion as plus signed or plus charged COONA, and there will be a replace which will help us write a product OH and COONA. This, when undertaken an acid treatment, that is with concentrated hydrochloric acid, it will end up by sodium chloride, and you will always be able to write OH COOH, so salicylic acid, as one of the Kolbe-Smith product. So this is how there are two methods for generating salicylic acid. One is the very earlier reaction we did in this particular video, that was Riemer-Tiemann reaction, and the second one, that is Kolbe-Smith reaction. So friends, two very important reactions that we are just pursuing over here, so that which can help us score very well in our exams, and these are few of the very popular reaction industrially where application of these are seen in many products. This salicylic acid on acetylation helps in getting a very popular product aspirin whenever needed as a drug. So friends, two very popular reactions that included the Riemer-Tiemann reaction and the Kolbe-Smith reaction. Now we are moving toward another important reaction, a very simple but important reaction, that is oxidation of phenol. Whenever we say oxidation of phenol, the reagent is very much important. Generally, while undertaking harsh oxidation reactions or very strong oxidation reactions, Na2Cr2O7, K2Cr2O7, KMnO4 along with sulfuric acid are some of the very popular utilized oxidizing agents. Over here, if you check in context, a popular oxidizing agent that is used for the oxidation of phenol, it is one which can be selected from here. So it is H2SO4 and Na2Cr2O7. It ends up with a very unique, very popular product which is very rarely obtained or very rarely observed from our textbook or reference book, that is 1,4-benzoquinone. So 1,4-benzoquinone is a very popular product that is obtained from phenol via oxidation process. So Riemer-Tiemann reaction, Kolbe-Smith reaction and oxidation of phenol are the three very important reactions that we have as a part of chemical reactions of phenol. Still, if we think of some unique reactions, we will think of one very popular rearrangement, and that is Fries rearrangement. So let us start with this very important Fries rearrangement, because there are several multiple choice questions coming in different competitive exams that have included Fry's rearrangement, and henceforth it becomes very important to once have an idea to learn properly Fry's rearrangement. So let us first just simply write a basic reaction that completely explains the Fry's rearrangement, and then if required take examples. Let us again start with phenol. Over here, for the first time we have phenol reacting with acid chloride, and whenever we react acid chloride, earlier also I have taught you, now also I am discussing that you always use NaOH to neutralize the outcoming byproduct, and therefore you always write NaCl and H2O, and at this particular point if you check, it is always O, sorry if I am going little out of the frame, pardon me, OCOR. Once I am done with this OCOR, it is nothing but, in simple words I can say, phenyl ester. Let us now bring into existence rearrangement. At this particular point, Fry's rearrangement comes actually into practice, where we generally use a popular reagent, that is anhydrous AlCl3. Yes, you are absolutely right. Whenever you think of AlCl3, the first thought that comes in your mind is Lewis acid, and at a very second point you come somewhat around alkylation, but always alkylation is not possible. Over here a very simple rearrangement takes place, where it is very clearly mentioned that phenyl ester, if you say, phenyl ester gets converted into a hydroxy substituted ketone. Viewers and subscribers, we need to catch the words. Phenyl ester gets converted into hydroxy substituted ketones. So the H will shift over here and the rest will come down. So I'll have a product OHCOR. Not only at the ortho position, but this particular Fry's rearrangement also takes place at para position. So you will always have two products, and you can see over here, whenever you get these two products, it is very clearly mentioned that you are getting again a hydroxy substituted ketone over here. So this is, friends, Fry's rearrangement. In this particular Fry's rearrangement, you can take n number of other reactions that are required. So these are the two products. Over here I can say that in place of R, let us take alkyl group, that is CH3, and in place of R, let us take C2H5. So in the similar way, different groups can be taken at R to get different reactions possible. But Fry's rearrangement, Riemann-Debye rearrangement, Kolbe-Smith reaction are some of the very important reactions that I wanted to discuss in this continuing part of chemical properties of phenol. So this is a very short discussion on chemical properties of phenol, part 2. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching the videos. Keep watching, keep demanding, keep subscribing. In continuation to this series of alcohol, phenol and ethers, the upcoming video will be for the physical and chemical properties of ethers, along with the IUPAC nomenclature revision video of ether being added in the description of the upcoming video. Along with this, I am going to add in the description a complete link of revision of alcohol and phenol. Go through it, and if you have any queries, just contact me. Thank you.